I'm coming. Sorry, I forgot about you. Hello. Yeah, and then what happened? Yeah, and then what happened? Yeah, and then what? Careful, you're gonna knock that stuff down. I forgot my freaking headphones today at home all day. That's so lame. Yeah, I'm gonna do too. Yeah. Mhm. That won't fit. Molasses oil. You're pushing buttons? Oh my god. She almost put on the self-cleaning feature. What's your tail, girl? Alright, and then I got all kinds of cleaning stuff. There you go. Money! Come on, dude. Oh, I broke scissors. Oh, oh. It's not food, dude. Hello. I'm gonna get out of the cabinet. Girl, you're literally about to drop everything. Come on. Moving, boy. Where's your bed at? Oh, there it is. No, girl. It's warm up. Mommy! Dude, fuck off. Oh, bummer, I put this in this cloth. Man. Damn it, I hate these cheap thin ones. Bummer, dude. Grabbed the wrong one. degrees in here right now. Okay. No, I want to take a shower. I need to take a shower. Oh my God. Okay. Before I take a shower. Just got off work. Then I stopped by the grocery store and grabbed some stuff before my dog has just, okay, so I vacuumed the shit out of my house. So then Orly last night, he was up all night throwing up. So he was eating grass. Look at this gross vomit pile. Ugh. He threw up there. He threw up there. He threw up there. He threw up like multiple, oh, another time right there. And then he came in the house and all the grass bits are everywhere now. He threw up in the house. He didn't do any throwing up while I was at work because he's a good boy though. Fuck, I forgot to get dog treats. So now, no more bus. Now I bought myself a garbage can and a Swiffer, so we're good to go. So I got a Swiffer that's dry and wet, and I got a mop, or garbage cans that link together. Yay, they literally link together. So now I have recycling and garbage. Can I help you, sir? Yeah, what? Really? What? Mom, what? Mom, what? Okay, okay, come. What? Mom, what? Mom, what? Dude, I got one of those things on the wall that you like put your thing on and it just like stays there. I have always wanted one of these. It just like holds your stuff on the wall. Really? Yeah. Money, get out of the cabinet, girl. I'm gonna go take a shower now. Hey, baby. I wanna know. Oh my god. Is that fucking throw up or something? Get out, outside. God, no, dude. It's a good thing I got that fucking slipper. Oh, I think it might be fucking shit. I hope it's not poop. Alright, I gotta go take a shower. I gotta go take a shower before I like lose my shit. So enjoy babysitting my animals while I take a shower real quick. I wanna know, would you be my girl? Okay, be back in 10 minutes or something. Where the fuck is my tablet? I'm all slathered up. Oh my god, I feel so bad. The best ever.
Manslaughter. She was convicted of 4 misdemeanor counts of cops. When they read the verdict, it was like a movie. The courtroom actually erupted inside the courtroom. People were just stunned by the verdict. Outside the court, the crowd outside literally gasped in unison. You could watch the video. They all gasped. Like Gary's revealed his chat history. You know, it just took the breath out of me. Nancy Grace.
Were you eating more grass out there?
On Casey Anthony's guilt.
Outside!
The devil is dancing at the verdict. Now, legal experts kind of began picking apart the case and pointed really to the prosecution's strategy. They only charged her with first-degree murder, and they sought the death penalty. And that is a very high bar for a jury to accept. It was a circumstantial case. And the case, while compelling to the public because Casey Anthony became kind of a not likable person, frankly, I think she would probably even admit that. It left enough reasonable doubt for jurors whose only job is to see whether there is any reasonable doubt. So ultimately, the judge sentenced her to 4 years, but he had to let her go because she'd served time waiting on trial. And so by the time you get time served and good behavior, she was ready to get out. She was released a couple of days after the verdict. And to add insult to the prosecution's injury, 2 of the lying convictions were later overturned on appeal. But the acquittal did not end the public's fascination, and it didn't end Casey's legal troubles. She had civil suits, she faced bankruptcy, obviously a flood of things like death threats. And so for a lot of years, she largely stayed out of the public eye. She was believed to be living in Florida.
She lived in Port St. Lucie, Florida, where I live.
In 2017,
The local strip club put a sign up that said, "Casey, we're hiring."
American murder mystery. Later, there was a Peacock documentary series called Where the Truth Lies. And involved, she maintained her innocence and remained steadfast in pointing fingers at her father. You know, as of today, there's rumors about where she is. She pops up in public. I believe she used to live very close to me. And then maybe moved a couple of cities away. I don't know where she is. I don't really care where she is. But she's, I think, close to 40 years old. And she's launched a TikTok account. She has a Substack newsletter. She brands herself as a legal advocate and a researcher. Claims to have worked in the legal field since 2011, which is the year that she went to trial. And she, I guess, tries to help people navigate the justice system, advocate for themselves. She kind of a liberal, comments on women's feminist rights and LGBTQAI2 minus 476 plus matters, and just current events. But she's trying to revive herself. She's posting videos reintroducing herself. She has subscription content, I'm sure that entails, and is even weighed in on political topics. But no one really knows precisely where she is at any given time, and that's probably best for her, because I think her safety could be in jeopardy. But it's reignited debates about the case, because the case remains pretty polarized. There have been a series of laws passed around the country, or proposed around the country, called Kaylee's laws. And these are proposals in a lot of states to criminalize a parent failing to promptly report a missing child. I'm perfectly in favor of that. If you don't know where your kid is, you should report them missing. It highlighted the power and pitfalls, the case did, of media in shaping public perception of justice. And the Casey's case is a cautionary tale. And that's kind of where I want to go with it. It's a cautionary tale about truth, deception, family secrets, but more importantly, the court of public opinion versus the actual courtroom. Meaning,
Cool, love that.
what satisfies the bloodthirst of the public may not always be enough to satisfy the deliberative process of a jury. Kaylee's death was called a homicide by the medical examiner. There's never been a killer conclusively identified in court. For her part, Casey maintains her innocence. But one instructive point about the case: it's the principle that reasonable doubt must prevail if it is there, no matter how emotionally charged the facts are. Meaning, if the jury looks at the case and finds that there is reasonable doubt, they cannot get kept swept up in this fervor because they know the public is demanding some sort of punitive justice for something they, without looking at the evidence, really happened. And that is your opening statement. And I bring that up for a specific reason, because it doesn't really have much to do with what we're going to cover tonight. But something that's been bothering me as I patrol social media, particularly X, what a weird platform X is. You get all these anonymous people that think they're anonymous. You get all these people that think they're anonymous, and they just throw bombs. And they say some really nasty stuff. But one of the things they say is that they come to a conclusion about what happened to Charlie Kirk, and anybody who differs from it at all is a raging psychopath, a demon, a liar. But that's the way they thought about Casey Anthony. But when they got into the courtroom, the evidence wasn't there to convict her. It was all circumstantial, and I would argue that's kind of what's going on with Tyler Robinson. It's pretty much all circumstantial at this point. We see a guy walking on campus, he kind of looks like Tyler Robinson. We know Tyler Robinson's car may have come on campus and may have been close to campus at the time of the event. So we're pretty confident he was in the area, and then we lose him. We lose him from the camera for a while. And then we see a guy scurrying across a roof, and we think, well, he's kind of dressed like Tyler was dressed a few, 8-10 minutes ago. Is that the same guy? And then he runs off, and then later we find a gun. We're like, well, that seems to be his gun, and it looks like it has his fingerprint on it, so it must be. It's very circumstantial. And we just haven't seen the evidence yet. And it's difficult. It's difficult for me to understand how somebody could be so confident that they know It's so difficult. And so we will continue to look at that, but I want to keep the burden in your mind. The very high, the very difficult burden a prosecution faces. It is totally different, totally 100% different than the burden of public opinion. It's very easy for us to kind of hide behind somebody's head. It's very, very difficult to holy mackerel. I just looked at the donation page. Holy mackerel. You guys have come through in a really big way. holy mackerel. You guys are amazing. Look at that. That was at $50,000 before I went live. Over 21, I would guess, thousand. Well, probably more than that raised there. You guys know how thankful I am. If you knew the family, if you knew the wife and the kids, you would also be thankful. So thank you. Your humble host gets nothing from any of that. No one on earth gets anything from any of that. Maybe credit card processors get a small amount of that free. But the vast majority will go to his wife and kids. And give him a dignified burial and give them some time together as a family to grieve. Which I can't thank you guys enough. You guys have come through in such a massive way. Thank you. Just in 30 minutes, thank you. So again, if you're tuning in late, if you normally send a super chat just to say hey, you know, if you have a question you want me to answer it, and that's a good way to get in to see it. But if you normally are just like, hey, appreciate it, do that another day. Jump on that. There's a QR code at the top. There's a link in the description. There's a link into the live chat. You can send that your donation there instead. And I will just assume you send it. This is a new hoodie, by the way. It's navy blue. I had an old navy blue hoodie, but it became my default workout hoodie. And it was stained and had sweat and tears all over it. So I did splurge and bought a new one. But it's a brand new navy blue hoodie. It kind of looks like the black one. But I just wanted to point out I'm not wearing some hoodie twice. All right. Let me get into the topic. Because this is going to require your capping down. You're going to have to pull out your thinking cap tonight, guys. This is, there's a lot of density. So what we wanted to see, we jumped into the TPUSA online environment. We wanted to see what kind of data was being either pulled from you or tracked when you leave TPUSA's website. So you go to TPUSA, say, who's on the board of directors? TPUSA board of directors. And the website comes up and you want to see who the board of directors. Oh, a guy named Doug the Group. Oh, great, Doug the Group. So then you close your browser and you think, well, that's the end of that. Well, TPUSA doesn't think that. So we wanted to see what are they doing. One of the ways they track you is something called a Google Tag Manager. This is a unique ID code. It's a string of, I think, 9 letters and numbers. But it's assigned to an organization, and they embed that Google Tag Manager into the website, and it tracks you. Tracks you. This is very normal. Lots of websites. Now, what we did was, we wanted to see what all websites have this exact tag, because that would indicate they're all pulling the information into the same environment. When I go to the website, it gets my IP address, or it gets my email address, or whatever I happen to leave behind, or it knows where I'm going next, and web pages I'm going to, where I came from, where I'm going, or kind of things I search. We wanted to go through all just using this same tag, so we expected to see a lot of the TPUSA websites, and we did. I'll show you an example of what we found. These are active. There are a lot of inactive versions of the same tag. We wanted to see the active ones. And so you'll see names on here that make a lot of sense. For example, TPUSA.com. I'll make this as big as I can. TPUSA.com, right here. That's the main website. It has that same Google tracking. Club America. That's their high school check. Okay, that makes sense. Campus Crashers. Yeah, this is a TPUSA website that they go to. Ampfest. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense that TPUSA.com would have Ampfest. Big track. I see Dre when she did the backseat. Did I hear that? Campus Victory, Believe Summit. TPUSA.com. This future of America polling is one of the
Wow, you guys are just desperate for anything to try to criticize me about, huh?
was an actual TPUSA event.
Must be nice being so bored. That's what you do with yourself. You literally sat and watched me use 4 different pads
Oh, it's America, the greatest country in the world.
to clean.
Yes, no. Yes, no.
You sat here and watched me use 1 pad to fucking sweep and then 4 pads to mop. And yet, like, you do realize that it just makes you look like a fucking retard, right?
They're also embedding a little tag data.
Can't fix stupid.
They're embedding a little data into your life. So these are all just normal things. Future American polling, faith events, secure campuses. What is this? AZSenateRepublicans.gov? Well, that's a government website. That's a .gov. Well, hold on to that for a second. We'll come back to that. Because that's a really weird website to have TPUSA trackers embedded into it. So let's keep going. We might get to look at that more in a minute. Young Women's Leadership Summit, Student Action Summit, MRE Meets.
Do you get my floor dirty now? Go lay down on Orly's bed.
Women's Leadership Summit. Look. Here's evidence that they actually did intend to have a young women's
You are so dirty.
2026. And then
My floor is dirty again already.
Because young people hate that's the only thing I can think of. Why else would you have both websites? You have the young women's leadership summit.
Upstairs, deal with it later. Let's get my phone charging.
Then you have the Strong Church podcast. Believe it or not, that's a TPUSA.
Let's make something to eat.
What the hell is that? Well, we'll come to that as well. Because it has TPUSA tracking software. Yeah. Turning Point USA Breezy HR. That's the HR. I guess when you go to work there, you have to log on here and give them all your information. They're tracking you while you're doing it. American Halftime Show. You remember that? They didn't like Bad Bunny, so they went and got Kid Rock. TPUSA Rise. Kurt Foundation.
Power on.
Make Heaven Crowded Tour. Build the
Bluetooth
Red Wall.
pairing.
That was that event Erica Kirk did with Donald Trump. Institute for
Bluetooth
American
connected.
Prosperity. We'll come back to that one.
Well, that's not TPUSA. That's not in the TPUSA Faith Summit. So all these are active websites that have the same Google Tag Manager. They have the same tracking software embedded into the website. So I want to explain what that means before we go to some of the individual websites. For example, here's how you find these. Well, let me do this real quick because we saw the Arizona Senate Republicans. We're going to come back to that. And we saw the Institute for American Prosperity. We're going to come to that. There were 2 commercial websites on it that I can't figure out. One was called MRE Meets. MRE Meets. Now this has the TPUSA Google Tag tracking software embedded into this website. So right now I'm being tracked by TPUSA and I'm on a commercial website called mremeets.com. I didn't know what this was, so I go to our story and I learn about the Aufschnitt company that makes this MRE meat. It's a beef jerky company. And if you're wondering, if you look up here at the top, I don't know if you can see this, they now free ship to Israel. So if you are in Israel watching this program and you want to buy meat from Baltimore, Maryland, or just outside of Baltimore, but you also want to be tracked by TPUSA, like you have this dual desire. I want dried meat, but I also want to be tracked by TPUSA. Where can I go? Oh, I know where I'll go. I'll go to Aufschnitt products. I will go to their MRE meat section. MRE, ready to eat, snack like a warrior. Grass-fed grit. That's weird. So that's one website. Here's the other one though. This is a really weird connection to TPUSA. You know, the TPUSA CEO, she doesn't even drink. She'll tell you, she doesn't even drink. This is the Old Pueblo Club. While I'm here on this random bar off 6th Street, East 6th Street in Tucson, Arizona, I am being tracked by TPUSA at present, right now. I'll show you how we know that in just a minute. But I am currently being tracked by TPUSA tracking software. And I am at a bar, a speakeasy, in Tucson, Arizona, on their website. And this is a speakeasy that is owned, I believe, by an air conditioning guy or something in Tucson. It's got all these different websites here, or these different pages. They got an about page. It's got a private events page. I can go do these private events, sign up for that. It's got a membership. This is kind of the weirdest thing. You can belong to this bar for the low price of $2,500 a year. You can see this number down here on the lower left-hand side. For $2,513 a year, you can belong to a bar. And that will get you a 10% discount on drinks. I don't know how much you drink, but that's like $25,000 worth of booze a year to pay for the membership. Now, what's interesting about this bar in particular is it's a speakeasy. It's got a secret entrance. It's not easy to find. And they have members-only events, and they're only open to the public like 4 days a week. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're not open. And maybe even Sunday. It might just be Thursday through Saturday open. It's either 3 days a week or 4 days a week they're closed. And I don't know if they're open to members during that time, or can you reserve it or whatever. But it's a really weird thing down in Tucson. It's not even near TPUSA. Of course, the meat place is in Baltimore. That's not near TPUSA either. And so I don't know what to make of it. I'm not here to make a grand reveal of, oh, here's what they're doing. They're trafficking people in the back. I don't know. Is this a Pizzagate thing? I have no idea. I don't think so, being honest. I don't think so. But I'm not ruling it out. I'll tell you that. I don't rule anything out. You neither have an obvious connection to TPUSA, but it made us look a little closer at others. What other websites are on here, including one that just opened this year called the Institute for American Prosperity. And when you see their goal, when you see what they're trying to accomplish, to begin with, they're trying to hit you with a little nostalgia. This is boomer slop here. See these old cars driving down looks like Franklin, Tennessee Main Street, right? This is old boomer slop right here. They're trying to beckon back to a day when not everyone could vote. But you go back here and you want to learn more, for example. What do these people do? Well, here's what they do. They promote policies in Arizona that expand opportunity, protect freedom, and limit the size and scope of government. They advocate for pro-growth economic policies. They educate the public on free market solutions. They support reforms that empower. This is what TPUSA did before they went full Zio. This was TPUSA's platform right here. You're looking at it. But now it's a company called Institute for American Prosperity, and there's no obvious connection to TPUSA. And when you look at the leadership, it's former Governor Doug Ducey. Former Arizona Governor Doug Ducey. I don't know what this is. They just got founded a couple of months ago. I think the website just launched in like April or May.
Oh my God, it's so nice to have a full kitchen.
But when you go to that website, you're being tracked by TPUSA tracking software.
People are dumb as fuck, wifely.
I can find no connection, no obvious connection.
Remember, we were wondering, like, what could they possibly have to fucking troll?
Free market economics. I mean, it's like Charlie Kirk back in 2012 before he gets infiltrated by Tyler Boyer and others. But then we get to the Arizona Senate Republicans. This website right here, the Arizona Senate Republicans, this is a .gov website, meaning the state of Arizona .gov. This is a .gov website. This is a public website of the Arizona Senate. When you click around on here, for example, you want to look at the senators. You will find on here, for example, Jake Hoffman. You guys might know Jake Hoffman of TPUSA fame. I believe he either does or did work at TPUSA, or worked maybe a contractor. He had some kind of TPUSA role. But believe it or not, Senator Hoffman here is being hosted on a website that is being tracked by TPUSA. We'll show you the extent of it in just a moment. It's wild that this is even. I don't know that this is legal, frankly. I mean, if I jump on a .gov website, I don't expect my information to be shared with TPUSA. I just don't. I would expect to jump on a website And maybe the state of Arizona tracks me, maybe the Arizona Senate Republicans track me, but I wouldn't think it would be being shared back to a private nonprofit, whatever. But these are your Arizona Republican senators, a diverse bunch, a very diverse bunch here. I think there are a couple people with maybe a small percentage of Hispanic descent, perhaps, maybe. But that's Arizona government. Arizona government website. So we'll get into how we know all this in just a moment. But this is a very concerning development as we're looking through this. So Google, just a quick disclaimer, on these Google Tag Managers, Google will allow you to develop different workspaces within the same Google tag. So you could have the same Google ID and you could put it on an MRE beef jerky website. You could put it on a Speakeasy in Tucson. You could put it on the Arizona government website. And you could have different, I guess, little buckets where the information flows, but ultimately, it's the same destination. Like TPUSA has all that data. Your computer, for example. You jump on your computer and you have different folders where you can store documents. You might have a folder called Humble Host. You take your best clips of the Real Baron podcast and you put it in your Humble Host folder. Well, then you have one called The Principal. And you take the best Candace Owens clips and you put it in The Principal. Then you have one called Trigger Smart's Greatest Hits. And every time you see something funny, you do a little clip and you store it in there. And this is just, you have different folders, but you have access to all of them. And that's what's happening. These are all flowing back to the TPUSA environment, even if there are different folders within that environment. Now, it's possible there's a low IQ, incompetent developer who's sloppy, who's unprofessional, who's only developed like 4 websites in his life, a bunch of TPUSA websites, and then a bar in Tucson, a meat company in Baltimore, and the Arizona government Senate Republicans. I mean, maybe, and so he just like, I got one Google tag, I'm just going to throw it on all these websites and hope for the best. That would be bad. And the amount of complexity in the TPUSA website indicates that's probably not what's happening. So let's go to how we found these. Because what you get is evidence that there is a private instance, a private server space for TPUSA. I'm going to show you a screen cap of what it looks like when you look sort of behind the scenes of these websites. You can do this with almost any website. You right-click on the website, you scroll down, you click Inspect, and you can begin to look a little closer at what's going on there. This is the code that pops up. These are all the little scripts that are running. And you'll see one right here called https tpusa.aiproxies.com. Matomo.js, JS being JavaScript. So this is on the Arizona Senate GOP website, and they're running this JavaScript. So what is that particular JavaScript? What do we see there? This is what sets up the server on the website. So this is like installing a security camera in your house. I want to have a security camera on my front door so that if anybody opens my front door, I will record it. But this particular script right here is just the camera. It's not the recording. It's not what causes it to activate. It's not any of that. It's just, hey, we want to look at what's going on, so we're going to put the hardware in your house so that we have the capacity to see your front door. That's the security camera. That's that aiproxies.com/matomo.js. This is, Matomo is similar to Google Analytics. It stores stuff on a self-hosted server. Instead of storing it in Google's environment, you kind of store it in your own environment. So that's the first one. If you want to look at the TPUSA website just to compare, just to be sure that it's the same thing. See that right there? tpusa.ai.proxies.com/matomo.js. It's the same environment on the TPUSA website. So there's evidence that the Arizona Senate Republicans and TPUSA.com are sharing this security camera installation. The same security camera on both websites. Now, what else do we have? Well, the next thing we have is yet another script. This is, you scroll down a little farther, and you have this plugin called a heat map session recording. This is tpusa.aiproxies.com. So this is the camera, but this is the camera recording you. So I want to see who walks into my house. I've got the hardware, I've got the camera, we saw that in the first screen. Now I have the ability to record. And what this heat map session recording does is it's recording what's going on your screen while you're on their website. You didn't know TPUSA did that when you went to the website. They do. They can pull up and they can see what you did on their website. They can see what people did as a whole on the website. They could isolate it by individuals, but they get a little heat map. They get a little trace of everywhere your mouse went on their screen. And that is TPUSA's heat map recording. That's the Arizona State Republican, but it's being fed back to the TPUSA environment. You want to see the same installation on the TPUSA website? It's right here. You'll notice it's the exact same. So you'll see here, this is the TPUSA website. It's Charlie Kirk, turningpointusa.com. Of course, they have the donate button. tpusa.com.aiproxies.com/plugins/heatmap session recording. So this is proof that they do the exact same thing on their own website. They do it on the Arizona Senate Republicans website, and it goes back to the TPUSA environment. They do it on the TPUSA website, and it goes back to the same environment. So we have a little bit of intrusion. Like when I go to a government website, I don't expect a local nonprofit or any nonprofit to track me. But they do. I'll give you an example of what a heat map recording looks like. Here is a random one that Daisy found online. This just shows you the click positions over here. These are the different places people click. And these are the places the mouse moves. So you can see it's recording you, and it's developing a little bit of a heat map. These areas in red here are where a lot of people click. You'll notice when you do these search engines, everybody clicks the top examples. So you'll see a lot of there. And then as you go further down the page, you don't get as much mouse movement or clicking movement, which is why people get paid a lot of money to try to get your website in that top position. It's very, very valuable if you can optimize and gain the algorithm to get up the top. So you'll see that the higher up you are. But this is being done on all these websites. Not only the TPUSA websites, but the Arizona Senate Republican website, and the bar in Tucson, and the meat company, the beef jerky company over in Baltimore. All being fed back to TPUSA. The codes work together. They record your visit, and they send it to this website. Here is what it looks like on the TPUSA end when they go to sign in. You can go to the page. I don't have a signature. I don't have a username or password, so I can't get in. But this is the website that if you type in that information, this is where it takes you. It takes you here, and you put your credentials in, and it sends you there, and you can now analyze all the data. Not only from TPUSA's website again, but the Arizona Senate Republicans, the government website, as well as a meat company and a bar. Okay, so let's keep going. Now, do we have proof they're actively doing it? Funny you should ask, Jimmy, Alan, however the song goes. Funny you should ask, Alan. Here is the evidence that they're actively doing this. If you go to the Arizona Senate Republicans.gov website, which is a government website, you can see the different types of tracking software they put in your computer. These are all the different things they drop off in your computer. Some of them expire when you leave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them expire when you leave. Some of them don't expire for another year. So you will have this, you go to the Arizona Senate Republican website, you're going to have this tracking you around on the internet for the next year, being fed back to TPUSA. Some of them expire, within a month or two. That's these bottom ones down here. And they're all doing something. We don't know what they're doing. We can't see what they're doing here, but we see that they're active. We see the size of them.
Hi, Violet.
We see whether they're secure. You'll notice some are not. But you see that they're actively doing this. This is not something that's installed but not happening. This
Bunny
is
was
actively
snatching.
occurring. And we can't figure out why. We don't know
Yep,
the connection
Zachariah,
of
very
why
true. You
an
have to be very
Arizona government
thick-skinned.
website has this tracking capability feeding information back to the USA. It's just something that cannot, my non-criminal brain can't contemplate what to do. I'm not saying it's criminal, but it's weird, right? Might be criminal. I don't know what the rules are in Arizona. I tried to look up the law, but I'm not an Arizona lawyer. Now, the third code.
Cornbread.
There's a third code.
Put some honey in it and some heavy
We've
cream.
seen the tracking software. We saw the camera. That was the first script we saw. We saw the recording. That was the second script we saw. The third code is really, really concerning. Because this isn't just a camera installed in the website to watch you. This isn't just it recording and watching. This one is actively communicating in real time with TPUSA servers.
Will make you happy.
It's sending information back in real time. Activity you perform on the Arizona Senate Republican website will in real time be transmitted to TPUSA servers. You can watch it happen in real time. It's like a phone call. It's like a phone call. The website is sitting there, it's waiting, and then when you go to the website, it calls.
The IKEA greenhouse. That's a thing. I've wanted to take my spin on it for a while, but as I explored various options they had to offer, I wasn't satisfied. In the meantime, I made the IKEA aquariums. However, just the other day, I had a spark of inspiration. I saw the Fabricore case once again, and I realized this thing has the potential for greatness. First order of business was to get the thing unboxed and built. Everyone knows the directions are useless, and you're always stuck with the worst tool. You didn't come here for a demonstration on how to build IKEA furniture though, so I'll keep it brief. It was actually fairly straightforward and just a matter of prepping the legs, cranking a few bolts, nesting pieces together, adding more bolts, installing the glass, placing the table followed by the final bolts, and the bottom piece. The result is a decent looking display case that should make for a nice piece in my office. However, as is, this is not designed to hold water, and there are various areas where it would exit. There's really no quick solution here besides adding more glass and sealing it with silicone. It's made primarily of glass as is, and the shelf fits perfectly on the bottom, so I only need a few additional pieces. I wanted to keep it as easy as possible, but I couldn't find any workarounds besides cutting the glass myself. I know it can seem daunting, but it's pretty simple with the right process. I just clamp a guide over the glass, oil the cutting tool, and give one solid pattern or a line. For long, thin pieces like this, I usually use the back of the tool to create a fissure along the scored line. Otherwise, I score the glass as before and snap it along the edge of the table. I go back with wet sandpaper to remove sharp edges and give them a quick rinse to complete the process. Before installing these new pieces in the case, I cleaned everything off with isopropyl alcohol to remove oil. I applied a bead along the bottom to start. There's a gap around the bottom piece, so the silicone is actually going between and on everything like normal. Then I dropped in the front piece and locked it down. I smoothed out the silicone with my finger and moved on to the corners. I applied a bead along the bottom edge, pressed them in, and ran more up the sides. As before, the silicone is getting in between and on the pieces. All these small
FaceTime audio, Grandpa Josh on speaker.
Starting a FaceTime audio call to Grandpa Josh on speaker.
So
Mom, look, 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 Mom, look. That might be a little bit too much sugar. Oh well. 2 gallons maybe. These smell like those clove cigarettes I used to smoke, the Jarum Blacks. I'm just gonna make this extra strong and make 2 of them. So I put too much sugar. I am making tea in my own fucking kitchen. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more for good measure. Looking good, girlfriend. We could go a little longer. Let's take it off now so it gets brown on top. I think these racks in there are backwards. Okay. The most bizarre things are said. Alright, so that's organic cinnamon spice, and then this one is peppermint, sleepy thyme, honey, vanilla, chamomile, and chamomile. This one is a moringa chai. I think I'm gonna do one of the moringas. Or who's hot tonight? Strindberg's hot tonight. Haha, he can't open YouTube without Face ID. That's hilarious. My kid's not going to be able to use YouTube anymore when I don't know when he's sneaky. Yes, he did see his bed. He slept in it one night already as well. Oh, that's why it's dead. I was wondering why it wasn't working. So weird how dirt has so much fucking magnetic stuff in it. There, that's better. I don't miss the bus. I mean, I love my bus, don't get me wrong, but I do not miss living like a fucking hobo. I'm not a fucking hobo. I work hard. I work my fucking ass off. So why am I living without running water and with an extension cord for electricity? I'm a 42-year-old woman. I was over it. Over it.
Here's the person that's filing it. The other side often doesn't get to say a single word before the judge decides.
Ew, it's her. Why is, ew, I can't stand that woman. No, you can't live in the bus. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet. Bro, oh my god. It's the sound effects have to be the loudest like the loudest sound ever, but the fucking words that come out of people's mouths you can't hear. You're like, what?
Hello and welcome back to Born Rant. I'm Brandon, and this week we are taking a look at a movie that tries its hardest to capture the magic.
You wouldn't want to pay
the only 90s ninja
to
movie that actually filmed in Japan,
send that all the way to England.
Movie in the original Three Ninjas trilogy. That's right. Today we are diving deep into Three Ninjas.
Almost let that overboil.
Directed by Charles T. Kanganis and starring Victor Wong, Max Elliott Slade, Sean Fox, Evan Bonifant, Carolyn Junko King, and Saab Shimono. We'll take a look at the movie's Home Alone-inspired origins, its relationship to the rest of the movies in the franchise, everything that makes the movie still worth watching today, and its legacy over 30 years later. And okay, yeah, let's get it out of the way. Yes, technically Kickback is the second released Three Ninjas movie. However, because Knuckle Up was shot before and features...
Hello.
Okay, so all of our
I think that this movie really qualifies as the proper third entry and conclusion to the original trilogy. And I legitimately view High Noon and Mega Mountain as its own separate universe, even though Grandpa and the parents are all in it. Now, I had not seen Three Ninjas Kick Back since I was probably 10 or 11, so we're talking a little over 25 years here. But when I started the movie up, I instantly had a smile on my face. The opening sequence of the boys and Grandpa all in their masks is so much fun, and a wave of nostalgia just washed over me. And honestly, same goes with the baseball sequence that follows. And I just remembered renting this movie over and over again from Hollywood Video. And this movie also features the return of the three boneheads trope from the original movie that was sorely missing in Knuckle Up. But more than all of that, the thing that really stood out to me upon throwing this movie on was just how good it looked. Cinematographer Christopher Faluna and costume designer Mimi Matsumoto really do a great job of giving this movie a crisp visual style. Like the choreographed ninja fights with different colored outfits looks genuinely so cool even today. But before I start diving too deep into everything that makes Kickback still worth watching today, let's go back and get a brief history of the franchise and learn a little bit more about how this movie came to be. And much like Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, this movie really begins with the success of the first movie in 1992, which made $29 million off of a $2.5 million budget, and that instantly led to a sequel being greenlit, and that sequel began filming in the fall of that same year. However, production only got about 3/4 of the way through filming before it was stopped due to some issues with the rights being turned over from Touchstone to TriStar. So while production was halted on Knuckle Up, that movie's director Shin Sang-ah sat down with Sesame Street writer Mark Schultzman, and the two hammered out a very Home Alone-inspired screenplay that saw the boys traveling to Japan. Unfortunately, production Chad Power, who originally played Tum Tum, wasn't able to return because he was working on a TV movie, and it sounds like after the messy production of Knuckle Up, Michael Trainer, who originally played Rocky, had decided to leave the acting life behind, which meant that two of our three ninjas needed to be replaced. And the production looked to Sean Fox, who'd been trying to break on the scene as an actor, with a couple of bit parts on Full House and Married with Children. Actually, ironically enough, Bonifant also did an episode on Full House, and had also been doing some soap opera work when he was cast to be with that. And this would all make Max Elliott Slade the last of the original brothers to be in the franchise. So on May 17th, 1993, with a budget of $20 million, the movie went into production, and filming would last until late July, and would be split between Los Angeles and Japan. And it sounds like the kids had a lot of fun filming in Japan. I found a really cool interview with Max Elliott Slade where he said they would go to the arcade like every day just to play new games that weren't out in the States yet. And on May 6th, 1994, Three Ninjas Kickback was released into theaters, and on its opening weekend, it would place third at the box office and make $3.5 million against its $20 million budget, before going on to make a total of just $11.7 million, making it a disappointing follow-up to the first film's runaway success. However, this thing was a juggernaut on home video. I know as a kid, I rented it probably a dozen or so times, if not more. The first one was always my favorite, and I did own that one, but I really loved that the kids wore their masks a little more in this one, that they went to Japan, that there was a cool dagger, and again, the colorful ninja outfits really captured my imagination as a kid. But anyway, all that to say that even though this movie didn't recoup its budget at the box office, once it was on home video and in rental stores, I have to imagine it became more than profitable. Apologies for the interruption, but I wanted to just jump in and let you know that today's video is brought to you by the members of the Born to Rant Patreon and our channel members here on YouTube. Born to Rant is a completely independent channel, so memberships really help me keep the lights on. Members get early access to new videos, access to exclusive member videos like this one on the Burbs, and access to exclusive polls. If you're interested in joining, there's a link to join the Patreon in the description below, or a button beneath this video to join as a channel member. And even if joining as a member isn't really your thing, you can still really help me out by either liking the video or subscribing to the channel. Like I said, I'm an independent channel, and I use absolutely no AI in the making of my videos. And with all of that out of the way, I think it's time for us to grab our ninja masks and dive into everything that makes Three Ninjas Kickback still worth watching today. Ironically enough, I think the best section of this movie is the opening 10 minutes or so. It begins, of course, with our traditional voiceover.
We got good. This new ninja daycare. I'll look you two.
And learning how to become ninjas. And we watch as they each try and surprise attack him. We also get the setup for the movie right away. And much like Knuckle Up, I think Kickback has a generally stronger premise than the first movie, but it also never quite lives up to that premise in a way that I hoped it would. So Grandpa tells us all about growing up in Japan, competing in a tournament, winning this dagger, how his friend tried to steal it from him, and how he accidentally cut his face when that happened. We also get the lore about the dagger leading to a cave of riches, coaches. And I really do wish that this movie was more of a Goonies-esque adventure story where we follow the boys trekking through Japan trying to find this treasure. Instead, the movie seems more interested in recreating shots and beats from the Home Alone series. This guy is basically just a bootleg guard that tries to play the drums. But anyway, let's actually dive into the Little League game that the boys play right after our introduction. First of all, what kind of a Little League is this where we've got 13, 12, and 7-year-olds all playing together on the same team? I also really love the detail that the pitcher of the Mustangs is one of the bullies from the first movie. It just adds a little extra continuity between the two. Something that was really missing in Knuckle Up, if you ask me. But the game has a bunch of great moments, like Tum Tum immediately leaving to go buy 2 hot dogs, and we get introduced to Rocky's first crush of the movie.
Hi, Lisa DiMarino. Lisa DiMarino.
I genuinely think the detail of including her middle initial is both clever and fun. It's like when you're talking to a friend and they tell you the first last name of their childhood bully, like you'll know exactly who they're talking about. Although I do think it's kind of whack that Lisa doesn't get a single line in this movie. But she does get to distract Rocky from pitching, which is kind of funny. But really, the whole game is about Colt and his anger issues. We watch as the other team basically systematically torture him as he's at bat. Yet when he finally loses his cool, for some reason, he's the jerk.
This is the most disgraceful display I have ever seen in baseball history.
Okay, and we gotta pause and talk about the umpire of this movie, played by Don Stark, aka Bob Pizziotti himself, which is kind of crazy because he's also in Knuckle Up as the sheriff, and I couldn't find anything about him having any personal connections to the franchise or anything, but he's absolutely fantastic as the umpire, way better than he was as the sheriff. Now, one thing I do have to say about this baseball sequence is even though it's a lot of fun and clearly inspired by stuff like The Sandlot and Rookie of the Year, it goes on just a little too long. Like, did we really need this whole section where this kid eats a can of beans and knocks everyone at the game out by farting? So anyway, the game ends with a brawl and a rescheduled match for the following Sunday, which really sucks for the boys because they were supposed to travel with Grandpa to Japan. But Colt talks his brothers into staying behind to instead play their makeup game. Now, my biggest complaint about Three Ninjas Knuckle Up was the lack of Hammer,
Dude.
Marcus, and Fester, drummer. And Kickback does its best to replace them with 3 other knucklehead kidnappers. We've got Dustin Wynn as Glam, Jason Shomping as Vinny, and Angelo Tiff as Slam, aka Bootleg Marv. And unfortunately for Kickback, nothing about these 3 really works for me. They just don't have anywhere near the same chemistry as the first trio of dummies, nor do they have any of the same great one-liners like this.
And this kidnapping is so much better than armed robbery. Dude. Yeah, I never got a pizza on robbery.
But I do think they have a couple of fun moments throughout, like when the movie tries to recreate the first movie's home invasion sequence, which is fun. Although I have to admit, I really hate that they made Bonifant say,
Let's murder Liza.
so the goons are fun, but ultimately don't add much to the movie other than some cheap giggles. And much like the first movie, they're actually hired by their leader, Glam's uncle, Koga, played by the always fantastic Sab Shimono, who I mostly know from The Shadow and his role in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. And anyway, he needs them to go steal Grandpa's dagger so he can get to the mythical treasure. After the boys successfully chase the goons off, they take Grandpa to the airport where he accidentally takes Tum Tum's bag, and once in Japan, the goons ram into the back of his taxi and steal his bag,
Didn't
which
fall
they
the
believe
sofa.
has the dagger inside of it. Then when the boys get home and discover they've got Grandpa's dagger and that he's been in a car accident, Colt and Rocky both feel guilty enough that they end up booking all 3 of them tickets to go to Japan. But anyway, once we're in Japan, I do think the movie's momentum starts to stumble just a little bit. We go see Grandpa and meet his incredible nurse, and the stuff with the boys at the ninja competition is really cool. And again, I think this stuff looks really amazing. This is also where we meet Carolyn Junko King as Mio Shikagawa, who kicks Colt's butt and wins the competition. Afterwards, she and her mom invite the boys to stay with them since they never thought that far ahead. It's not what you for a country on a way. Anyway, this leads to a pretty lengthy montage of both Mio teaching the boys martial arts and the boys teaching her how to play baseball. There's also some cute stuff of Rocky and Leo flirting, and personally, I think since Rocky's got Lisa DiMarino back home, Colt should have been the one to have the fling with Mio, especially after she kicked his butt. And this is where the main story of the movie really kicks back into gear. Koga and his men impersonate the Grandmaster to try to get back from the boys, but both the boys and Mio figure it out pretty much immediately, which leads to an extended action sequence. And one thing I did kind of notice is that I'm not so sure Sean Fox and Evan Bonifant had the same martial arts training as their predecessors. They never seem to do much in the way of choreographed fighting, and when they do, their faces tend to be covered up. But the boys and Mio eventually get kicked out by Koga, and then it's off to the hospital so they can do the same with Grandpa. Then when the kids escape, we get this fun little action sequence through Koga's ninja training facility, which is just an awesome 90s trope that I love. And then we get to use these sick gliders to escape. And then we're off to the ancient cave to find the ancient treasure. And again, I really wish this was more of the movie. Like, if the entire second half of the movie had been the kids getting chased through this cave, I think we might have had something really special on our hands. Like, just imagine if we got a few more fight sequences down here and had more fun stuff like this slide. And I will say, the set design down here by Gregory Martin and Hiroyuki Takatsu is absolutely incredible. It feels so creepy and real, and Christopher Faluna really gave this section a cool look. But I'm also just kind of a sucker for seeing torches on screen. I love the way that movies light them to make them look like they can illuminate an entire room. So Colt saves the day by jamming Koga's gun. Koga and his stooges renounce their evil ways, and then it's back to America to get to their makeup game at the very last second. And the boys bring Mio into the game to catch the bully's home run, and then Colt hits a triple home run, does a bunch of backflips, and the boys win the game. But I do love the little stinger at the end with the bully trying to fight Mio, only to immediately get his butt.
This is where my pan was that I was looking for.
Is the legacy of
Oh, well.
just kick back. Well,
Oh,
I think it depends on who
bunker.
you talk to and how recently they last saw this movie. If you had asked me a month ago, I would have told you this was easily the second best Three Ninjas movie, and I remembered it being a lot of fun. And I do think that both of those things are very true. However, I was disappointed by just how big of a drop-off this movie was from the first movie. It tries to hit a lot of the same beats and riff on a lot of the same movies, but I just don't think it ever quite comes together the way it could have. Like I've said a couple times, I think if this movie had focused more on its general premise of the dagger unlocking an ancient treasure, and half the movie taking place in the underground caves, it could have turned into something really special, almost Three Ninjas meets Goonies. But instead, this movie seemed more content to re-quote the first movie,
Let's murder Liza.
loudly announce its name,
We're the Three Ninjas.
and then steal shots and beats from Home Alone. All that being said, I would absolutely still watch Kickback over Knuckle Up. Even though Knuckle Up features all three of the original boys from the first movie, I actually think that Kickback plays as more of a direct sequel. With the boys' parents back in the fold, and Dad not letting Grandpa teaching them to be ninjas, and the bully from the first movie being back, it just feels like this movie has more connective tissue and continuity with the first movie, where Knuckle Up feels like more of an anthology adventure. There are substantiated claims by North Korean defectors that Three Ninjas Kickback was a childhood favorite of Kim Jong-un, which is ironic since once upon a time his father actually kidnapped Kickback's co-screenwriter and producer. But if you want to know more about that, check out my video on Three Ninjas Knuckle Up. But anyway, apparently Kim Jong-un loved this movie so much that his father commissioned a North Korean remake for him in the late 90s. As for the cast and crew, Sean Fox and Max Elliott Slade would both essentially retire from acting within a year or two of this movie coming out. Evan Bonifant has continued to act throughout his life, but the thing that I know him most from outside this movie is definitely Blues Brothers 2000, a movie that I recognize is absolutely terrible, but I kind of have a fondness for it just because I grew up with the original, and I remember my dad taking me to see the sequel when it came out. And yes, in 1998, Three Ninjas, High Noon, and Mega Mountain would be released, which would see all three original boys replaced. And I honestly don't know that I ever saw that one, but the broad opinion seems to be that it is absolutely terrible. So I have no plans to cover it, but let me know in the comments, which Three Ninjas movie is your favorite? Do you agree that this movie could have been better if it was more of a riff on Goonies? How do you feel the goons in this movie stack up to the goons from the first movie? If you've made it this far into the video, thank you for watching, and as always, a very special thank you to all of my supporters over on Patreon and my channel members here on YouTube. I truly could not do it without you guys. If you're interested in becoming a member, there's a link to join the Patreon in the description below, or a button to join as a channel member right beneath this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out smaller independent creators like myself, and that's going to do it for Born to Rant this week. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
this? Dog shit and bug spray. Okay. I did just find bug spray under the sink that was old from the people who lived here before. Definitely doesn't. It smells like, what is it called? Warm amber and cashmere. When I walked in today, it like hit me when I first walked in. It smells so good. Makes me so fucking happy that my house smells good and I don't have a dirty ass fucking bus. Just dirt everywhere. Windows. I had no AC. Feel so grateful. I worked so hard to get where I am right now, and I am savoring every second of this reward that I have earned. Yummo is ready. Oh, the microwave. Never mind. Do that. Just have to slice it up. Bum, 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 bum. Nice try, my guy. Can you reach your water? There you go. You should be able to reach it now. Oh yeah! Hey, what's the deal? Can I help you, ma'am? Yeah, I know. You want some food? Okay, yeah, me too. So, I love you too. Mom, what? My dog calls me mom. If you need to go outside, you go out back. We got some hoes up in this house. We got some hoes up in this house. You guys don't defend me to these retards on the internet. Try not to forget that those retards are single-handedly helping the algorithm to push my content. Every person who watches my live stream is giving me money because my account is monetized. If they have YouTube Premium, I'm being paid. If they watch an ad, I'm being paid. So they comment, I'm literally getting paid. Without any of these, without me having to be like, guys, send me gifts. I get paid. So, let them talk shit. We all know that they're stupid. And that helps us to not accidentally mistake one of them for a good person, you know? They announce themselves when they walk into a room, which helps us stay safe. So. Yeah. Oh my God. I can't believe you just said that on the internet, but I love you too. He's like spam posting pictures of Shitler and that symbol you're not allowed to show. I love it when people just fucking say fuck you to the politically correct on the internet. Not that I support those things, you know, because I don't. But I think it's funny. I think offensive jokes are funny. Only because of the reaction you get from people. That's what makes it funny. It's not a clean cup. I found it on the counter yesterday. I thought it was clean. Wasn't paying any attention. So glad I looked good before I just used it. So glad that it was me and not my kid. Red Solo cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. I fucking stabbed my tooth and then dropped the food out of my mouth. God bless my heart. Sorry, buddy, you can't have any of this because you are allergic to corn. Oh, dang, I had this. Here, you can have this meat. So I'm not gonna eat that. Oh! Good boy. I can't wait till recycling comes. Oh my god, I need to get these fucking bottle shits out of here. So sick of it. Buddy, you have just fucking swept and mopped in here and now there's shit all over the floor again. He's so dirty. I need to do something. I can't bother giving him a bath yet because that fucking area out there needs to be... I need to put grass down first. I wonder why he's having such a deal with eating right now. He hasn't been wanting to eat. And then he's been throwing up all damn night. I don't understand. Like, why is he throwing up? I got him to eat yesterday, but then he threw up. But he did digest his food because when he threw up, he didn't throw up food. He threw up grass and like foam. Is that milk that you threw up? Oh, maybe he did throw up all of his food. Yeah, he did. He threw up all of his food. Why did he do that? Why is he not eating? I'm like scared something happened to him from like us having to pick him up or something like that. Let's see if he throws up again. He's been eating treats and some human food, but he's just not wanted to eat his own food. And then when he did eat his own food, he just threw it all up. So I don't know. I'm hoping he doesn't have like something going on in his stomach or his intestines or something. He's pooping, which is weird because he's not like eating much food, so it's weird that he's still pooping. My aunt is coming in August and she's gonna stay here at my house while she's here to save money on hotels, which is really cool. Pretty excited about that. Yeah, that's what he did. He ate grass so that he would throw up, but I just don't understand why he's not eating food and why he's throwing up. All right, I'm gonna skedaddle now that I'm finished eating. I'm done cleaning. Like, I cleaned the house a little bit and I did a load of 2 loads of dishes. So I feel like I have accomplished quite a bit considering I got off of work and then immediately did that. So I think I'm gonna go veg in my room for a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Let's figure that out. I could hang out anywhere I want. I'm not sure where I want to hang out, but I know I do. I want my sweater. Maybe I just turn the air off. I can do whatever I want. I could do what I want. Dude, this house is so fucking badass, dude. I cannot believe this is my house. Like, I'm still in shock that I got so lucky that, like, this beautiful, beautiful, clean, just lovely home. It's funny too, because y'all been trying to give me shit for so long, you know, just you troll bitches, about how my bus was like cluttered and I was like a fucking hoarder or whatever. No, I lived in a fucking bus. I lived in 200 square feet of living space, and everything inside of this house, like everything inside this house was in my bus. Like all the furniture that I have yet to put the drawers back in, all these dressers, all these drawers, all this stuff in my garage, everything in this house was in my bus. So let's go check out Elliot's new desk chair. Dad bought him a chair yesterday, so let's see what this thing is like. It definitely smells funky in here from the previous person who lived here. I want to steam clean these carpets a second time. I think I want to get one of those plastic floor mats. It's like hard, clear plastic so that his chair can roll around on it. Where's all my fucking coins? Oh, there they are. I gave Elliot a new coin jar of his own, so he stole all my change. I bought my son this bed. Look at that. It's a loft with a desk. And he obviously has got priorities. I still have to get my office set up. I kind of want to do that, but I just don't really feel like it. I feel like doing it on Sunday. I can't do it on Sunday. I have to go to... I'm not going to be able to finish unpacking for a while, I think. I'm going to just like hit a little bit of it at the end of the day after work while I can. But Sunday I have to go back to my bus and I have to get the last of the outdoor stuff, get my bathroom decorations that are in the outdoor bathroom area, and I can start going through these drawers. What I should do is I should go get those hangers. Ugh, the hiccups, burp things. I should go get all those hangers, and I should start putting all these clothes that are in these drawers on hangers. And if I do that, then I can give the drawers to my son and he can start putting his clothes in there. I need to do laundry too. Gotta go to like the laundromat and actually do laundry. What is that? Oh yeah. I'm over here air conditioning all the fucking bedrooms and shit. I'm really excited about this house. I just can't believe that I'm about a whole ass house. It's like weird. Oh, and my bed should... Let me check and see the tracking on my bed. My bed is gonna be here. I'm super excited about that. Wait, it said that there was a package out for delivery. I'm pretty sure. I'll be right back. I need to check my Amazon. package was left near the front door, but then the package was gone. It's not. What the fuck? They took a picture of it. What the hell? Hey, Levi, did you happen to see a package at my door when you and Elliot were out here? Thank you. Get your face out of there, you bitch. So I got this. I bought a canopy bed, like a princess bed, because I am that bitch. So because I bought the wood, the canopy wood, I went ahead and bought a canopy. Excuse me, thank you. Put that away too. Yeah, it's an electric fireplace. So I got this. Why is it all one color? It better not be all one color. Anyway, so I got this. Money! Seriously? Dude, she's doing it on purpose. She's totally doing it on purpose because she wants me to feed her, and she doesn't want me to fucking do anything other than feed her. So anyway, I got this, which is, yeah, it's a canopy, and it has like all the different colors on it. Oh my god, this is gonna be so cool. Oh my god, I am literally shaking with excitement right now. I cannot wait to get my bed. Dude, this is incredible. Oh my goodness. My bed will be here in a couple of days and then I'll deal with that. Okay, feed cat. Shit, I forgot to get cat food! I love having running water. This is so great. Shit just goes down the drain. Don't have to freaking use 600 baby wipes and then still not have fully clean hands. Cat food got spilled on the counter. It's like rock hard. Jesus Christ. Hey, clean bowl for the girl. Yeah, I know. I'm really excited about that. I can't remember what bed I got. I think I got a wood one. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I got a regular bed with a regular frame, headboard with like shelves and shit in it. And then I think I got this metal thing that goes over it that turns it into a canopy. I just can't remember how I did it. I don't want to feel like, let me look real quick again. Stuff that goes over it. Pretty excited about that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. And the canopy itself is going to be really nice. The colors, it's going to match my little stool that I have and my little like pillow that I have that are in the living room. It's the same colorway. It's like the Indian silk thing. Ow. I think I might wash the canopy before I hang it up. I might like soak it in the bathtub and then hang it up outside to dry. I don't know. But I'm gonna skedaddle. I'm gonna turn this off and I'm gonna go lay down, I think, and relax. Ugh. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna skedaddle. I'm gonna relax. And I'm gonna take maybe a little nap or something. Do. All right. Hi, Kate. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.